In a world constantly shifting, art is the quiet revolution that stirs the soul. From the brushstrokes of the forgotten to the voices of the unheard.
It's the only thing I know how to do.
Art has always had the power to transform, to open eyes, to ignite action.
This was actually unveiled on International Women's Day 2016 as part of like a whole program of like uplifting voices and spirits for like young girls.
Art will remind the world,
girl, you can go many places,
what it is truly capable of. Are you ready to listen?
It is time to get uplifted. Thank you for joining me. I'm Allison Seymour. Well, Thursday, March 27th is National Scribble Day. It's a day that encourages people to express themselves creatively through art. The day was inspired by a children's book by Diane Alber. That book, I'm Not Just a Scribble, teaches readers to accept each other for who they are by following the journey of a scribble drawing who meets other scribble drawings who look very different from one another. And when the drawings learn to accept each other for who they are, they end up creating amazing art. I just love that message, and it really reinforces how much richer we are as a society when we lean on what makes us unique. And we know this is just one of the messages that art can teach us. So in this episode, we're going to focus on the impact of the DMV's creative scene. There are so many beautiful murals in our area. In fact, the DMV is home to hundreds of local artists, and those artists are leaving their mark everywhere you go. Earlier this month, I spoke to a local artist, Robin Davison, who left her mark, her creation, in Georgetown's neighborhood library, as well as the impact her studio is making. Her studio is Studio Lab RD. We'll talk about the impact she's leaving on the DMV. Here's a portion of our conversation. So we're so happy you are here.
Well, thanks for having me.
And you look just like an artist.
Oh,
beautiful,
thank you.
beautiful.
Thank
Tell me about the inspiration for your art and what can visitors expect when they go to your studios in Georgetown?
Oh, well, when they come to my studio gallery in Georgetown, it's called Studio Lab RD, and it is a vibrant, cozy, inviting place where people can come in. The furniture is comfortable, the setting is cozy, coffee's brewing, music's playing. And what makes it really unique is that my paintings and often the work of other artists are hanging in the gallery space, which is on the street level when you enter the space. But then my studio is upstairs, and it's an open studio.
Wow.
And I invite people when they come to visit to come up and see what I'm working on, to get sort of an unfiltered, behind the scenes look at the art making process.
That's incredible.
And I love it. I love it so much because I'm always learning as I go. I'm learning, always learning. And I love to have people come along with me and learn alongside me.
Right.
So it's quite unique. Oftentimes artists are hidden behind closed doors and it's a little mysterious and secretive what goes on. I fling the doors open and I say, come on in and see what I'm working on, and I love sharing the process.
What inspired you to do that? What inspired that approach?
Well, I had the experience, as a lot of people do, when you walk into many art-centric spaces, there's a sort of a hushed, don't touch mentality about it. And it can often be intimidating. It can be a little off-putting and maybe even a little scary. And I wanted it to be just the opposite. I wanted it to be warm and inviting, and I wanted people to be able to come in and have the experience of meeting the artists. So often, collectors or interested people never get to actually meet the artist.
Right.
And I know from my own experience, art that I've collected over the years, where I've actually gotten to know the artist, that art takes on infinitely more meaning.
Right, right.
And I believe that's very important.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really, it's great.
So what themes do you explore? I know that you mainly do abstract art.
abstract art,
Yes.
and it's rooted in relentless curiosity.
Okay.
My scientific training. I'm actually a scientist. I'm a molecular physiologist.
Oh my
believe
goodness.
it or not.
Yes. You're
So-
using all sides of your brain here.
It is.
Yeah, I love that.
So curiosity, my scientific training, and really the love for the visceral qualities of the materials themselves, the paints and the other mediums. I'm just fascinated. You know, paint is infinite in its possibilities, and I'm just fascinated with that. And I'm always seeking to create knowledge in visual form. And just like my science and my experiments over those years in the laboratory, I want my paintings to teach something to me and to others that wasn't already known.
Right. Well, that leads into my next question. You know, that we're all about getting uplifted on this show.
Yeah.
How do you think your artwork helps to empower and uplift the community?
Well, first starting with, like I said, my studio is open. I say, come on in, let's have some fun.
Right there. That's groundbreaking right there.
That's pretty interesting
Yes.
and different. Another thing is I do something at Studio Lab called Art Party, where I host people to come in with their friends, family, colleagues, anywhere from 2 people. Date night is very popular, all the way up to many people. Yesterday we had an engagement celebration party, and what this is they come in. It's a private event, so they've rented out the whole space. We start in the gallery space. We have food and drinks. And then when everybody's fortified and ready to go, we go upstairs and they paint their own painting in my studio using my tools with paints that I've curated for them. And this is different than what is known often as sip and paint, where everybody sits at their own individual canvas and paints an image, a likeness of an image that's presented to them. This is a freestyle paint party where people who are itching to put their phones down and really create alongside somebody and leading to a piece of art that you actually want to put on your wall.
Right.
And so that's what it is. It's a party. We put music on, and the work that people create, the paintings yesterday from this engagement party, amazing.
I love that. I know you're headed to a beautiful art retreat in Bali. You can tell I've never been there. You're going to Bali. What do you hope to gain from that, and what will you bring back here with us? Yeah.
Well, I've never been to Bali. I've been to Indonesia, but never to Bali. So I'm sure that the environment and the physical beauty of that place will surely influence me. But the retreat is really it's not about actually creating art. It's sort of all the other things we do as artists to run our businesses, to fortify our businesses, to tend to ourselves as artists in the creative process. So I hope it'll be transformative.
Yeah. How powerful, like first of all, you have a mind that is out of this world, that goes beyond just the canvas, but how energizing that must be to be with like-minded people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I've done one before with this same retreat director, and that was in London, and we just had an amazing time. But this is going to be totally different in Bali. I mean, the setting is going to be so unique and really inspiring.
We're all
I'm
so
sure.
jealous. Okay, we can't wait to see the work when you get back. Before we let you go, I know that you can see some of your work at the Georgetown Library there.
That's right.
Can you tell us about what we'll see when we go and visit?
Right. So one of the things that I do to bring my art, but more importantly to help others in the community create their own art, is I take Art Party, the thing I just kind of described, out on the road, if you will. And so I bring a big, huge canvas and all the tools.
Are we seeing it there?
Oh yeah, there it is.
There it is. Lovely.
I bring all the tools and the paints and all the things, and set it up. This was part of something called Art All Night, as a citywide event in the fall. This one was outside the Georgetown Library, as you see there, and people come and leave their mark. And then we hung it there in the Georgetown Library. It's hanging there now, and it's something to behold. It's really beautiful.
That must be so fulfilling as an artist.
To bring art to people,
right?
And to allow them to, have their expressions and their ideas put on a canvas is going to be seen by many, many people for a very long time. It's very exciting.
I love that. That makes me very happy.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's been a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, Allison.
Much success. And then when you come back, please come and visit us after ball.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great to talk with her. Now we want to highlight 2 murals in the DMV with very powerful messages. Check this one out. It shows 6 uniquely patterned heels against a rainbow background. It was installed along the district's high heel race route last October to raise attention to the LGBTQIA history. It was designed by students with the Latin American Youth Center and well-known muralist Lisa Maria Thalhammer.
Traditionally, in a lot of schools, a lot of students don't learn LGBTQ history, so this is an opportunity to educate.
Plus, look at the craftsmanship on this. Isn't that beautiful? You can see when we come back out, just that woman tucked away there in that flower, just really beautiful, impressive. Well, we're going to rave on the artist that made this for a little longer because their work isn't just pretty, it also has lasting meaning. These 11 murals represent different pieces of Southwest DC's history. And one of those images is a portrait of an African-American civil rights and women's rights activist, Dr. Dorothy Height. Now, on top of that, the location of this gallery is also important to its message.
For years, folks have recognized the opportunity of this space to begin knitting the community back together and to begin healing the scars of urban renewal, reclaiming the infrastructure in the walls of the interstate, which you can hear behind me, that divided our community back in the 1950s.
The public gallery is located in the 4th Street underpass in Southwest. Now, this had been a predominantly Black-owned area until, you heard the speaker say, 1950, when the area was targeted for urban renewal, which displaced many of its residents and ultimately led to economic segregation. Well, before we move on, we're going to take you back to the archives to when our Simone D'Alba and Adam Longo got a walking tour of some of the most popular uplifting murals in the district back in 2023. Check it out.
About 7 years ago, a group of us, including a local artist named Kelly Toll, started a mural festival in this city called DC Walls, and started bringing a lot of street art to the Noma and Union Market area. On top of that, with the growth in this neighborhood, there's been a real explosion of street art. And so one of the things that I've always been proud of is like being able to give folks tours of this art.
Well, we were hoping you could lead us around and show us a couple of spots.
Absolutely,
Can we do it?
let's do it. That'd be great. This piece here is about this woman named Shelley Bell, who essentially her company acts as an incubator and helps support Black female entrepreneurs very specifically. And that's the whole purpose behind why this mural was even created, was to celebrate her.
Are there a few pieces in your mind that really stand out? So if you could only show a handful, are there 1 or 2 that you would recommend?
Sure, there certainly are. Like, this is one of them. This, besides the messaging, if you showed up here without a tour and had no idea what was going on, it's just a beautiful piece. This is actually the most Instagrammed mural in all of DC.
Ready? 1, 2.
And this was actually unveiled on International Women's Day 2016 as part of like a whole program of like uplifting voices and spirits for like young girls. And so this heart wall was supposed to be like this really positive, uplifting message, which it totally is. I mean, Michelle Obama was here and cut the ribbon on it in 2016. This one's awesome. So this was a collaboration between the folks behind La Cosecha, the Latin American food hall here in Union Market, and the Inter-American Development Bank. It's looking back on the last 60 years and looking forward to the future.
Oh, so when you think, let's say 5 years down the road, when you think of the mural scene here in DC, do you continue to think it's just going to keep exploding, expanding?
I do, and I'm hoping to see it exploding in other neighborhoods as well. This is by a local artist named Ania Khan. Ania Khan is Nigerian American, Washingtonian. The guy has been an artist for his entire life, been painting murals in DC for nearly 20 years.
It's a clear power stance,
Yes,
and she's clearly
exactly.
like a dominant, like, hey, I'm here.
Yes, exactly right. And so he's expressing both her femininity, but also the masculinity of the piece. And it is a dominant pose, because if you add in these pencils as weapons, what this piece is about is actually like knowledge being power. This is an anti-violence and an anti-gun violence message. The best part about going on a tour with a local guide is you're going to get that context. This is a beautiful piece. We don't have to know anything about it, but knowing the story makes it 10 times better. I want tourists to come to DC and do other things besides the mall.
I wonder if we can just talk about real quick the impact and the importance, sort of overall, of street art like this throughout DC.
Yeah, absolutely. And street art plays a lot of different roles. You know, we are now in a neighborhood that is being developed, lots of brand new apartment buildings, lots of new hotels. And when you have a neighborhood that's being developed very rapidly, sometimes it lacks character. It lacks a soul. And one of the things that helps give a neighborhood some character is the art.
I know you want to go check them out now. I know I do. Well, murals are, of course, just one form of art. Jess Arnold shows you how local fashion designers are using their art form to seam together powerful messages.
It gives a moment.
A moment for designer Delight Jancy's company, Akebulan LLC.
The need I'm hoping to fulfill is being able to create designs for Africans, African Americans, and anybody else who is interested in African culture, because culture is made to be shared.
She graduated from the University of Maryland in 2020 and has already shared her designs on the runway at DC and New York Fashion Weeks.
Girl, you can go many places.
But the fabrics take her home.
Born and partially grown in Ghana.
And bring home here.
So when I got to the US, I learned that I wasn't Black, which was one of the biggest culture shocks. Oh, you're not Black, you're African, in the Black community. So a couple of identity crises later, I learned that there are differences. I am Black, I am African, I am Ghanaian.
She says all that through her clothes, starting a conversation, just like fellow DMV-based designer Doncel Brown.
So this one is my favorite piece because
he founded Generation Typo in 2020 to spark dialogue across generations, especially about the topics where there's often a disconnect.
Someone could look at what you're doing and think it's wrong. So they become that system and they label you as a typo, but it's to take the power back and be proud of who you are.
And confident to talk about tough topics, as his slogan requests.
This was an emotional piece for me, honestly, because as I was designing this is in the midst of everything going on with George Floyd, and it was just a conversation around a lot of police brutality and gun violence and different pieces. So I was designing and I put together this graphic first that you see on the back. And it says, don't shoot.
Powerful messages sewn into the seams.
And I think about the conversations where people walk up to me and like, hey, I had your jacket on the other day and I had a conversation with my mom that I never thought I would have. That just, I mean, I got chills right now just thinking about it, because that's the real success of cool. A message is doing something.
Whether the message is to embrace the typos or to celebrate your heritage.
We mix the African print at the neck.
Both hope to inspire others to weave their own way.
That's the impact of art. Well, life is a canvas. That's how the saying goes. And coming up, we're going to show you how a man from our area is painting his own narrative for the future and empowering others along the way. Welcome back. Well, hopefully now you are feeling inspired to create your own masterpiece. So we wanted to highlight one of the spots here in our area that host art workshops, a craft store off of Georgia Avenue in Northwest DC. It's called Mary Penn. It's at 7350 Georgia Avenue to be exact. It offers classes ranging from watercolors and knitting to book binding and so much more. And joining us now to talk more about the impacts of those classes are the shop's co-owners, 2 out of 3 at least. Madeline Odendahl, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us. And also Megan Flynn. Megan, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Do we want to do a shout out for the third partner?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Michelle is our third crafty M. Yes.
Michelle, Madeline, and Megan. I love it very much. All right, so let's talk all about the Mary Penn. First of all, I love the name.
Thank you.
Love the location. What do you find when you walk in the doors?
Oh my goodness.
What don't you find?
Yes.
Okay.
What don't you find?
Yeah.
So we are a cafe, craft store, and community space.
Love it.
So we have craft kits, everything from embroidery, like the one I have here, District Spring, which is a cherry blossom themed kit. We've got clay kits, kits for kids.
Yeah.
And then we also are a cafe. We feature snacks and beverages to bring people together, and a community space so people can come hang out, co-work, work on their crafts.
What a happy place to work.
It's so happy.
Do you guys need any part-time helpers? We'll talk about it off camera. Who do you find comes in, Megan? Is it? It sounds like it's from kids to families to anybody.
It really is.
Yeah.
We have everything from 2-year-olds to 72-year-olds and everyone in between, and a lot of people who haven't really done crafts in a long time and are looking to get back into it. So we really wanted to be a place that's accessible, whether you're a professional or you're just kind of a dabbler and looking for something new to try. We really get.
That's the exterior. I mean, just what a cheerful space, and that's a little bit of the interior when you walk in. Madeline, talk to me about some of the workshops that you do offer. If people want to, surely after this, they're definitely even more so going to want to come to the Mary Penn. What kind of workshops do you offer?
Well, we offer a whole range. Right now is
Cherry blossom?
Yes. Out the wazoo.
Okay.
So we've got watercolors, we've got needle felting, we've got embroidery, we've got bookbinding, you mentioned. We've got kids puppet making, kids crochet workshops coming up. Really, there's something for everything. And in addition to workshops, we also do craft nights. So for people who already know a little bit about crafting, but maybe want a little bit less of the pressure than a facilitator or guided class, we do craft nights where people can come, get a craft kit from downstairs, or bring whatever they're working on and just meet new people.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, Megan, you can talk. We're gonna try to start this. Is this needlepoint?
This is embroidery.
Embroidery. Okay, we're gonna look at that and see what that has to offer. But in the meantime, Megan, talk to me a little bit about the impact you think the Mary Penn has had.
Yeah, I think that post-pandemic, people are really still trying to reconnect.
Yes.
And so it's been really fantastic to see people coming together, meeting new people, making friendships. One of my favorite moments was shortly after we opened, there was a workshop and no one there knew each other. And by the end, like after the workshop, they went down to the cafe, they grabbed cocktails, they all stayed and crafted together, they formed a WhatsApp group. So it's just been really incredible to see those connections happening.
Beginner to expert, who can come?
Everyone.
Okay,
Everyone,
now. And now, how long have you been crafting?
Okay, well, my I'm an exception. My grandmother and great grandmother taught me to knit when I was like 6, so I am an exception.
Okay.
However, we host workshops of varying, levels so that people can come and try things.
Right.
And
in
I
a
think,
safe space, I hope.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
No judgment.
So no judgment. And one of our values really is accessibility in its broadest and narrowest terms. We are not an art store. We are a hobby craft store. Anyone can walk in and learn something new. And we think that's really important. We're not gatekeeping information. It's like putting something in your hand and touching something is really, we don't do a lot of this anymore.
I always say this, we do not play enough as adults. Okay.
I mean, come on, look at this. Like, come on, you need to touch this.
Let me see, that is so pretty. I love the colors, very cherry blossomy.
Textures, like
very
look how cute this
Okay.
is. This is the District Spring Mini Embroidery Kit from Capital Stitch Co.
That's so cute.
Miri is an artist and maker here in the district, and she's doing one of these workshops at Mary Penn coming up. But yeah, so we do workshops for all different levels, from beginner to advanced. And I think that's one of the really lovely things about Mary Penn is that even in a beginner workshop, there's still always something new to learn. Like, I have been knitting for a long time, but
since you were 6, right?
But I haven't been embroidering for that long. I haven't been weaving for that long. I haven't been working with clay for that long. So there's always something new to learn.
I love it. May I just see it? It's so clean.
Oh yeah.
Show it
Get
to the
in
camera
there.
so you'll get. This is like a lost art, in my opinion, right? Okay. So I'm sure this will be beautiful when it's done. My hands are way too big to do that. Let's just end with you, Megan. What do you hope that the store's impact, or the shop, let me not even call it a store, this space, what do you hope the impact is on the community and on the greater DC area at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think we really hope that it will be a place that brings people together, that lets them reconnect with one another and with, you know, as you said, like the lost art of doing things with your hands.
Right.
And so we really want to be that kind of third space,
Especially in this AI world that we're in.
Yes.
You know, no shade, but we like to get back to the basics, get our hands in it. All right. Madeline Odendahl and Megan Flynn, thank you so much. And Michelle, who's not with us, thank you so much. This is the Mary Penn, 7350 Georgia Avenue, craft store, cafe, and community space in Northwest DC. How do people get in touch with all the activities?
Our website or our social media is the best way, marypenndc.com.
I love it. Thank you so much. Happy crafting.
Yeah, happy crafting. Thank you.
And we want to highlight a fun, family-friendly activity that is sure to leave you feeling inspired. You can head to the Torpedo Factory Art Center in Old Town Alexandria. And that's where you're going to find dozens of artists selling their creations while actively working right in front of you. So it's basically a 2-for-1 special. Plus, some of those artists also hold classes and workshops so that you can learn how to create your own masterpiece. We started off the show by telling you how National Scribble Day was started because of a book whose characters learn the importance of accepting each other's differences. So we want to end the show sticking to that same exact theme. Well, some people among us don't speak often, but they still have a lot they want to say. That's the belief guiding a Fairfax County art teacher who's making a positive impact on his students. As our Sean Martinelli discovered, the impact goes both ways. Sean takes us to Reston, Virginia, to get to the heart of it.
Hey there, my man.
At South Lakes High School in Reston, Virginia. Despite the song from that speaker, satisfaction is everywhere here. It's in proud artists and in their even prouder teacher.
It's the only thing I know how to do.
That's Matt Ravenstall. In most classrooms, students who are neurodivergent learn separately from the neurotypical. Here, they work side by side.
If there's a philosophy to this room, that is it. Everyone is welcome.
A philosophy that began from Matt's dissatisfaction.
Non-speaking students have a lot to say. So you're going to put stuff around in here.
Matt saw a need to teach those students art more meaningfully. Fellow teacher Claudia Harvey agreed.
Knowing that they're capable of doing so much more.
We just have to give them the opportunity to do it.
We'll start with the color on one part of the flag.
That opportunity came when they created this class called Inclusive Fine Arts.
This class is awesome.
And while we wish we could show you some more finished work,
I can't keep their artwork here. Like they're so happy with it, they take it home like after every class.
For students like Zainab Adris,
they're amazing.
This isn't just an extracurricular. It's a reason each day to show up.
Yeah.
And that's enough reason for Matt to keep going.
It gives, I think, purpose to my life. Years ago, did my doctoral degree with a plan of after I teach high school, going into university and all of that sort of stuff.
Because of this class, Matt's plans changed.
When I retire, I'm not going into a university. I'm going to work with adults with disabilities and give art lessons. At the age of 54, I learned what some of the things I'm supposed to do.
And that's left him with the feeling.
That's what we like to hear.
Of satisfaction. In Reston, Virginia, Sean Martinelli, WUSA 9.
That's going to do it. Thank you so much for joining me. And we hope these stories inspired you to make a difference in your own way. And I want to continue to share stories that uplift. Email us at getuplifted@wusa9.com. And you can reach me also on my social media. I'm on X, Instagram, Facebook, or our Get Up DC social pages. Join the conversation by using the hashtag GetUpDC. And you can get your daily dose of Get Uplifted every morning at 5 on Get Up DC. And you can also find these stories on our website and our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay uplifted.